Of course, it's worse when everybody's sort of watching you.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for your patience and welcome to the delayed. Sorry, no worries.
It happens every time. It wouldn't be the same if it didn't.
Sorry about that delay, but we'll get underway for the County Commissioners regular meeting for November 7th, 2023. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Commissioner Jones.
Present.
Commissioner Gosar here, Commissioner Arbera not here. Item 2, if you'd stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd appreciate it, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 3, a public hearing. There is none. Item 4, comments from the public. If you'd like to make a public comment, we'll go into the room first. Just to give us your name. If you're not from Albany County, if you'd let us know that. If not, we'll assume you're from Albany County. So public comment. Anybody would like to make a public comment here in the room? Okay, we'll try online. Does anybody would like to make a public comment online? Just unmute yourself. That would be great. Last call for public comment in the room and online. Mr. Jones, I'd entertain a motion to close the public comment.
I move that we close the public comment.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, I'll vote same sign. That motion carries. Item 5, disclosures. Commissioner Jones, any disclosures?
No, not that I know of.
And for me, I don't believe there's any disclosures for me. Item 6, considerations of changes on the agenda. Thank you, Bailey. Good morning.
Morning. Let's see, item 15, I need to add the University of Wyoming, Wyotech, and Laramie County Community College, Albany County campus.
We're just consolidating it all into one agreement instead of doing separate agreements.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so then I need to remove items 16, 17, and 18.
UW Wyotech LCCC. Is that it?
Yep, and then city needs to stay there as well.
Okay.
So there should be before. And then I also need to remove item 22. I've talked with Sheriff Appelhans. This would be the 3rd time going out for bid for this project. So we're actually going to have a meeting with the state before we go out again.
Okay, super. Jennifer, please. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. I need to amend item number 35
Okay.
to include, in addition to section 16.4.405A3, I also need to include section 16.4.405A7.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else, Taylor? Okay, thank you for those. Item 7, approval of the consent agenda. Commissioner Jones?
I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
And I'll second that. It's moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, I'll oppose same sign. That motion carries. That takes us to the regular agenda. Item 8. Present for approval 2023 wellness contract between Albany County and Wyoming Health Fairs. Anissa, good morning. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you. Before you is the contract with Wyoming Health Fairs for our employee benefit fair that will be tomorrow for the blood draws for our employees.
Mr. Jones, any questions? No. I have none either. Thank you and the health management team for setting this up. I really do appreciate it. I'm hopeful that all of the entire county employee and the people on our health insurance will take advantage of that. Free blood draw, free labs,
Yep.
flu shot,
Flu shot, breakfast.
breakfast, I mean, I'm not sure what else,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Thank you so much. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Did we already do this?
You don't do a motion.
All right.
Yeah.
We did not do a normal motion.
Not yet.
Entertain a motion for item 8, please.
I move that we approve item 8 as presented.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Lisa. 9, present for approval, approach license for Blattner Energy on County Road 557, Cooper Cove, Laramie, Wyoming, Section 20, Township 19 North, Range 77 West. Rob, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a approach license for the Rock Creek Wind Energy portion of the road, so.
Commissioner Jones, any questions?
Nope.
I have none. I'd entertain a motion for 9 then, please.
I move that we approve item 9 as presented.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Excuse me. Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 10, present for approval, utility license for Wheatland Rural Electric Association on County Road 61, Fetterman Road, Laramie, Wyoming. Rob, please.
This is a utility license for the Boswell Springs Wind Energy to get electricity to their maintenance and operations building. Currently, they've been running off a generator, so this will make it where they basically have the landline or whatever.
Commissioner Jones, any questions?
Nope.
If not, I'd entertain a motion for
I move that we approve item 9 as presented.
10. Can I make that 10?
Oh, 10, yes, we can make that 10.
A second. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 11, present for approval, amendment to the lease agreement between Hammaker Excavation, Inc. and Albany County for extending term of lease of windmill pit for 5 years. Rob, thank you.
Yeah, this is they crushed this gravel pile up on Hammaker's in 2018. We had a 5-year lease with them to store our gravel basically, and we still have about a third of the gravel pile left, so we're just extending the lease on for another 5 years.
Questions, Sarah? If not, I'll take a motion for item 11, please.
I move that we approve item 11 as presented.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thanks,
Thank
Rob. Item 12, present for approval, repeal of the April 2010 Rules of Practice and Procedures for appeal before the County Board of Equalization involving taxation matters. Chelsea, good morning. Thank
Good
you.
morning. I was reading through these and they actually duplicate the State Board of Equalization, Chapter 7. And these are pretty outdated. And so I really don't think we even need them. So I'm just asking if we can repeal them.
Mr. Jones, any questions?
No.
If not, I'd entertain a motion for item 12 then, please.
I move that we approve item 12 as presented.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
Thank you.
13, present for approval, tax roll correction for Elevated Structural Decks, Inc. in the amount of $3,185.25 for paid property taxes from 2015 to 2022. Chelsea, thank you.
Yes, just asking for your authorization for the county treasurer to refund elevated structural decks in that amount.
Any questions?
Nope.
I entertain a motion for 13, please.
I move that we approve item 13 as presented.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
it. 14, present for approval, template and report form for 1% community partner funding between Albany County and community partners. Bailey, good morning.
Good morning. So as we've been, since Kayla's taken over as new county clerk, we've been talking about the 1% community funding, moving it over to the grants office, because it kind of fits with everything else we do. So one of the things with that change is to add agreements to this, to hold the community partners accountable for the funds that they get. So this is just that agreement. The term is just for the 1 year. We do have in there, we should have in there that the funds aren't available till December 2023. And the money is not issued till at least December, obviously. Also, one of the things we want to do is have them do just one report. I talked to Todd Feeser at the city. I got their report form. We just altered it to fit us. So a little less information than what the city requires. But it is just to make sure that they're spending the money the way they said they were going to spend the money. We also are requesting that they submit all receipts or pay stubs, however they're using those funds for. And the project also has to benefit the community. So, any questions?
Any questions? Entertain a motion, please, Terry.
I move that we approve item 14 as presented.
Second. It's been moved in second. Any further discussion? Thank you, Bailey, for
All in
doing this
favor?
work. I really appreciate it. It's been moved in second and all those hearing and seeing no further discussion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 15, present for approval agreement between the Albany County Board of Commissioners and the City of Laramie, University of Wyoming, WyoTech, and LCCC Albany County Campus for the commitment to the International Town Gown Association Certificate Program 1 and Strategic Planning Sessions.
So, as you may or may not know, Commissioner Ibarra is the liaison on this committee. One of the things that the group has decided or would like to move forward on is this certificate level 1 program, as well as a strategic plan for Town Gown. In order to do that, International Town Gown is willing to help us out, but of course there's a fee involved. The fee is $20,000 total. So the group has met. Everybody is willing to contribute $4,000 to it, but we decided we need just a business agreement in place to make people accountable for what they're saying. At the last meeting, we kind of decided the county might be a good place for it because the county houses everything within it. So I asked Jennifer to drop this agreement, and she's working on it as we speak.
Almost done. Combining it all.
But any questions regarding this?
No questions. What do you hope to when this is all finished? What will this help you do, Bailey?
To have actually like a clear guidance, a clear vision. I've gone to IT the conference the past 2 years, and it is a little different for the county. No other county in the country goes. Well, Wyoming's unique anyways. So the county's been involved. The county's been kind of the leader of this project because there is communication issues within the community, and there is issues, between the city and the university, and the county and the city and the university, and all of the above. And since we have 3 higher education institutions here, we did decide all 3 need to be involved. When there was, first weekend of October, I believe, WyoTech was bringing in a new class, one of their biggest classes that they have. Well, it also happened to be a big homecoming game or something, big football game. I know the scheduling is different, but you have so much in one community at one time. You're overwhelming your community as a whole.
Motel rooms.
Yeah. And another part of it too is, 30th is a great example. That project that we have, I got letters of support from everybody because it affects everybody. So I think it's a great program. It's a great, because everybody does need to talk to each other. And I think there's definitely that lack here. I actually have a old colleague at the university. And she's like, yeah, the university just seems so bubble. I was like, yes, that's the problem. I was like, they need to come out of their own bubble. It's like, that's why I sit on this other committee here that's trying to, break that up a little bit, because I think there are different ways we can help each other that we're not thinking of at this time. And I think one of the things that came up the other day, or I don't know, a couple months ago, was parking on campus. If you get a ticket on campus, it's more than your ticket for city parking. Why is that? Why aren't they charging the same? So it's a revenue stream then for the city. Why aren't they going to up that? But I think it's just opening that communication that's just going to help a lot. So
thank you.
They charge you the ticket if you're on county business with the university.
Yes.
Very bad.
We have some parking
I know, so I got those.
Just to add to what Bailey said, from the proposal letter that comes from the International Town and Gown Program, it says a requirement of the program is for each participant to examine a challenge in their community and work through options and solutions. And within the Laramie specific project, a group project will be included, allowing participants to use thought leadership and collaboration to problem solve together. So the whole purpose of the program is to identify those issues that the city, the county, or any of the higher education institutes can identify, and then put all of these resources together to come up with a solution that helps everybody.
And it did start more, from my knowledge, it started more as kind of a like prevention piece. That's why prevention has kind of always been like housing it. But after going to the first conference I went to, it's so much more than that. And I think there's a lot we can learn from it, and make our community better.
And it was definitely prevention in the very beginning.
Thank you for this work. Sherry, I'd entertain a motion for 15, please.
I would like to make a motion that we approve item 15 as presented and discussed.
I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All of those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign, please. That motion carries, and that incorporated 16, 17, and 18, so those be removed. That moves us to 19. Present for approval, notice of default for nonprofit recipients of ARPA funding.
We did just have one agency that did not turn in their ARPA report. It's Unaccompanied Students Initiative. So this is just that letter to be sent out to them. So we'll get that.
Thank you for that. I entertain a motion if you have any questions. Sherry.
I move that we approve item 19 as presented.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 20, present for approval, notice of non-compliance for nonprofit recipients of ARPA funding. Bailey.
So we, again, just had one entity that turned in their report late, Laramie Connection Center. This is the second to last report, so we hope we won't have an issue with the last one, but just we're sticking with what we originally set in place.
Any questions? If not, Terry, I'll give you a motion for item 20.
I move that we approve item 20 as presented.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign, please. That motion carries. Your motioner is going to get tired. Terry. Item 20, present
There's
for.
no daydreaming.
Present for approval, invitation to bid for purchase and delivery of one new mid-sized four-door, four-wheel drive sport utility vehicle, and direct the clerk to advertise. Aaron, good morning. I see you on the big screen.
Well,
No.
Oh, was it my turn?
Nope, it's Sheriff Applehands' turn. Okay.
This is an RFP to put out for one four-door SUV. This is to replace the sheriff's vehicle, so it does not have to have all of the police requirements that we do when we do vehicles for deputies.
Okay. Any questions, Terry?
no,
If not, I'd entertain a motion for 21, please.
I move to approve item 21 as presented
Second. It's been
and
moved.
direct the clerk to advertise.
Second agrees. It's been moved and seconded, and seeing no further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 22 was removed. That moves us to item 23. Present for approval. Proposal number 100920233P1B1 between Albany County and Arca Search for the commissioner minute additions to the existing research site in the amount of $494. Kayla, please.
Good morning, Mr. Commissioner and Mr. Chairman and Commissioners.
Yeah.
Woo. There we go. That's my morning this morning. This is the agreement between Albany County and ArcaSearch to update the commissioner minutes. So it was done a couple years ago. All of the old minutes were digitized. Now this is just to update. As you guys know, you sign all the minutes in the minute book. Is what this will allow us to do, though, is scan those in and send them to them, and then they will upload them onto the system. Normally, we had to send the books to them and they had to digitize them, but they're going to allow us to scan them and just send it to them so that they can host it on their site so that those are for public viewing. So.
Any questions, Terry?
Nope.
Not, I'd entertain a motion for item 23, please.
I move that we approve item 23 as presented.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 24, present for approval, proposal number 06052023P1B3 between Albany County and ArcaSearch for the preservation of historical documents in addition to the existing Albany County searchable archive in the amount of $86,298. Kayla, thanks.
Good morning. So this is the agreement between ArcaSearch and Albany County to finish digitizing all of our land records. So this will be the last piece. As you all know, Jackie started that when Terry was in office the first time. So it's been some time ago when we started it. And the commissioners have graciously funded it with 1% funds, which has been great. But this is the last, there's 74,937 images left for them to do. The first time they came, they used the election room or the election building as the place where they did it. Obviously, that may not work right now because obviously we have an election coming up in 2024. So I'm not exactly sure if the project will get done in 24. It may get pushed back to 25. So I'll just ask during budget if it is going to be pushed back that we can carry over those funds. But I'm hoping we might have to just find an alternate location. You know, we have so many places, but
Right.
I'm hoping that maybe we can figure something out. But this will be the last piece of the pie to get all of our land records digitized, which is pretty exciting. It's a huge
It is.
undertaking.
It's huge.
Yeah.
We've come a long, long way.
Yes, and you know, with Jackie's help of starting that, really piloting that, it's really been great. It's a great resource for title companies and just people in general to be able to do research. So.
Any questions, Terry? If not, I'd entertain a motion for 24, please.
I move that we approve item 24 as presented, and if we need to have it in the motion that Kayla can carry over the money if they do not get it done.
And I'll be able to tell you, I'll let you know. I'll keep you guys all in the loop.
Second.
Thank you.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 25, present for approval, a quote from CW-G for the purchase of computer workstations in an amount not to exceed $24,999.68. Adam, good morning.
Good morning. Hi. If you haven't already seen enough of me this morning, but
We haven't heard from you.
I know, right? Trying to be the background. But before I use a quote, this workstation request will essentially fulfill the rest of any machines that can't go from Windows 10 to Windows 11. We have a handful, probably about 10 or so, 10 to 15 that aren't compliant, don't have the hardware specs to upgrade. And then we're at life cycle for some of our 4-year workstations, essentially our first round when I came in. So the ones that are starting to get stressed and starting to show the fatigue, we'll rotate those out and then take those and work them down into sub distributions, a lot of interns, those sort of things. So the quote is all workstations. There's no monitors, there's no laptops. We wanted to hit county personnel as everyone's back in force. We have plenty of laptops floating around. So but we felt that was the best allocation of funds.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
So is this just the desk part of the
It is
workstation?
just the tower, correct?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, the tower.
The
Okay.
tower itself, yes.
All right. I thought it was the desk,
Oh, yeah.
not the, okay, so now.
I mean, we can put in new desks, but
We could, but
people
we
get really
just-
particular.
We just put new desks
I
in.
know,
so-
I know. No, desktop.
Tower makes total sense.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay.
I'd entertain a motion for 25, if you would, please. Terry.
I move that we approve item 25 as presented.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate it. 26, award bid for the removal and replacement of roofs at 525 East Grand Avenue, the courthouse, and 501 Ivanson Street. Jake, good morning. I'd like to be more excited about this. The number's probably gonna
Good morning.
shock me a bit.
Well,
Well-
so, you know, the way I'm looking at it, better we're doing it right now than 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Is very true. So we'd issued an RFP in September of this year, advertised for it, and it closed on October 25th. We received 4 bids for it. We had a pre-bid meeting, and all 4 submitting contractors attended that pre-bid meeting. The short story is, the low bid we're considering it a non-responsive bid because they didn't have a bid bond, they didn't meet other criteria, as is shown in the letter here of our bid recommendation. We're wanting to recommend that Inman Roofing be awarded this bid. For the courthouse, it's $343,488. And for the IT building across the street, it is $128,439 for a total of $472-ish thousand. And I believe that, Kayla, did we allocate 400,000 for these projects a while back? I believe that's what I think
Budgeted money.
Anthony had mentioned to me earlier.
What
this
was
morning.
Inman?
Those were the quotes he gave you.
Yeah, I
Those
know,
were the-
but I didn't get it all written down.
For the courthouse building, $343,488.
Okay, I got the other one. Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, real quick.
And we were kind of expecting the bids to come in around 500. So
So, yeah.
in all 3 of the qualified bidders, if you will, we're pretty close in that range, plus or minus 100,000. But
Jake, while we're looking that up, what type of warranty does that include?
so we worked with a few suppliers to put together a specification package that includes a 20-year warranty, hail damage, and then the material supplier is going to come out and do an inspection at a 2-year, a 5-year, 10-year, and a 20-year, I think, to make sure that if anything is damaged, it can be addressed instead of just letting the wind take it away.
Will that include the removal of the rocks that are up there?
Yes, yep, we're stripping the roof down to the concrete deck and then rebuilding it back from almost the ground up. Same with the IT building.
Super,
So
super.
we're not just gonna patch it. So.
Jake, so we transferred $446,202 into the building reserve fund, but that gives us a balance of, we've got $1,000,001 in there, so there's enough to cover the 2
Okay.
years. Yeah.
Wow, okay, let's go, 446.
Pretty
Not
cool.
bad.
Pretty, I know that.
That's pretty good.
That's really good
Really
considering
good, I
what
know.
we've been seeing in the building industry.
Yeah, because I thought it might be 500,000.
Yeah.
This one.
Well, thank you so much. Any other questions? And if not, Terry, I'd entertain a motion for 26.
Well, I want to say we did get good news. And I would move that we approve. Must have done something. Item 26 as
And
presented. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 27, present for approval. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate it. Present for approval, payment of Wyoming County Commissioner Association's required June 2023 special assessment to all counties for resolution of WCCA's outstanding building loan obligations, of which Albany County's assessment is $23,670 even. Jennifer, please.
Hello. Good morning again, Commissioners. So this assessment was assessed by WCCA's board on June 23rd of this year. And it is not an optional assessment. This is one of their mandatory assessments that the board agreed to. In part, in my conversation with Jeremiah, he couldn't be here today. He had conflicting meetings, but if we have questions, I'm happy to reach out to him. And he said he was happy to answer them. But in part because the loan they have for when they bought the building and when they did the construction on the Cheyenne building, has an adjustable rate on it. And that is set to adjust, I believe, at the end of 25 or the beginning of 26, somewhere right around there. And with rates the way that they are now and no certainty, the cost, the increase in cost that it would be for their payment is huge. So they assessed all of this, and all WCCA needs to know at this point, they haven't sent an invoice or done anything, is they need to know how the county wants to make that payment. And what they have approved from their board that doesn't need any further approval is that we make the entirety of that payment in either this fiscal year or next fiscal year, or we split it half and half between these 2 fiscal years. If the county wants to do something more than that, we can write it up, send it to Jeremiah, who will present it to WCCA's executive board, and we'd have to get approval from them. I did talk to Kayla and Tracy before coming in here, because I don't ever know where money is or where it's going. And they have said that there is money in both CISP or the 1% miscellaneous uncommitted. And both of their recommendations would be to pay it all at once. And so ultimately we will need direction from you as to which account to pay it from, and then a decision on when to pay it so that I can relay that to Jeremiah. We'll then get an invoice, which will come back before you at that time.
So you guys, the recommendation was either pay it all and either pay it this year or pay it next
So
year.
we have $100,000 in CISP. If you'd like to pay it out of that, it's for special project. It's for, it's that kind of that fund that we have budgeted. So if things come up, but there is money in miscellaneous uncommitted as well. So it's really up to you guys where you want it to be paid from, but it can be paid in one lump sum and then we don't have to worry about it. We're done. So
I think we should just pay it out of ISP. Is that-
CISP.
And just pay it all and be done with it.
Fair enough, yeah. We owe it, let's pay it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's okay with you if I relate to Jeremiah that we're going to pay it all in one lump sum?
So do you want it in a regular motion?
I was gonna say, if we would do it as a
Yeah, we
motion,
can
that
do
would
it
be
as a motion.
helpful.
I just needed to start talking about
Yeah.
it.
No, I get it. If we could do it as a motion, that would be
Okay.
helpful. And if you want to designate
Is
where it's CISP,
CISP.
if you would designate which fund you want it paid from, then when it comes back in front of you, we'll have that all sorted
Okay.
out already.
Super,
Thank you.
You want me to make the motion?
please.
I move that we approve payment of the Wyoming County Commissioners Association required June 23rd, 2023 special assessment to all counties for resolution of WCCA's outstanding building loan obligations, of which Albany County assessment is $23,670. I move that we pay it out of CISP and we pay it all this year.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Jennifer, for working on that. Appreciate it. Item 27, present for approval, payment, we just did that. Item 28, present for consideration an amended plat for Lot 1, Sherman Mountain Estates. Jory, good morning.
Morning. So Albany County Fire District Number 1 has requested a boundary line adjustment for Lot 1, Sherman Mountain Estates. Since the boundary line adjustment occurs within a platted subdivision, an amended plat must be approved by the Board of County Commissioners. This boundary line adjustment occurring in this amended plat includes Track 2 of Sherman Mountain Ranch Record of Survey. This amended plat has been reviewed and all necessary information is included. Your approval is requested.
Is there any questions?
No,
I entertain a motion for item 28.
I move that we approve the amended plat for Lot 1 Sherman Mountain Estates.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Jory, I have a question. It seems a bit weird. Albany County Fire District is requesting the boundary line adjustment. Is that their property?
Yeah, they have a fire station up there. And from what I know, I think the structure is straddling the line. So they're doing this to fix that. They're doing a triangle swap with the the property owners to the west, so.
Super, thank you. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 29, present for consideration request from Hammaker Excavation for an exemption from the large tract subdivision process situated in section 34, township 17 north, range 73 west of the 6th primary meridian. Jory, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So Hammaker Excavation has requested an exemption from the large tract subdivision regulation to create an approximately 35.82 acre tract from a 3,124 acre tract of land. County Subdivision Resolution Chapter 5, Section 5 requires exemptions from large tract subdivision regulations to meet the following criteria. They need to provide a legal description or record of survey, address water rights on the property, provide a water supply study for any proposed water system, or provide the disclaimer, no proposed central water supply system, and the division shall create 10 or less parcels. Based upon the information provided, this requested large tract exemption meets the criteria needed to grant the exemption.
Jory, any questions? Terry, not an entertaining motion for 29, please.
I move that we approve item 29 as presented.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign, please. That motion carries. Item 30, present for consideration a request from the Johnson 99 Ranch for an exemption from the large tract subdivision process situated in section 27, township 16 north, range 74 west. Jory again, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So with this one, Johnson 99 Ranch has requested an exemption from the large tract subdivision regulation to create an approximately 35 acre tract from a 2,674 acre tract of land. County subdivision resolution requires exemptions from large tract subdivision regulations to meet the following criteria. Provide a legal description or record of survey, address water rights on the property, provide a water supply study for any proposed water system, or provide the disclaimer, no proposed central water supply system. And the division shall create 10 or less parcels. Based on the information with this one, the requested large tracts exemption meets the criteria needed to grant this exemption.
Thank you, Jory. Terry, any questions?
Nope.
Not an entertain a motion for item 30, please.
I move that we approve item 30 as presented.
Second, been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign, please. Motion carries. Thank you, Jory. Appreciate it. Item 31, present for approval, resolution 2023-019, a resolution appointing directors to the South Knoll Road Improvement District until the next election. Thank you, Kayla.
Good morning again. So I am bringing forward a resolution to appoint 2 members to the South Knoll Board. As you all know, we've had a mass exodus of that board. And we have 1 lone member right now, Joe Teeter, and I have Ed Burns here. And Ed and Braden Hyde have graciously said they would take it on. So this is really helpful for us because they're not in compliance right now. So this will hopefully get them moving towards being in compliance so that they can start reaping the benefits of having an actual district so they can fix their roads and things like that. So this is just a resolution to appoint 2 members so that they will have a working board. The previous member, Mark Hungerford, has offered to take them up to the bank and get everything signed over for them so that they can get everything into the new board members' names. And then I've reached out to Braden and to Ed and to Joe, and we're going to try to meet next week sometime to try to go through everything that they need to do to get into compliance. So we're moving in the right direction. This will at least get them till their next election. Hopefully we can get things moving in the right direction. So I appreciate Ed and Braden for raising their hands and saying that they would do this. It makes my job a lot easier. So.
Yeah. Any questions, Terry?
No.
Not, I entertain a motion for 31, please.
I move that we approve item 31 as presented.
Second, it's been moved and seconded.
And thank you, gentlemen, for stepping up.
Agreed. It's been moved and seconded. Hearing and seeing no more discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign, please. That motion carries. Thank you, Kayla, for your office for reaching out and finding us 2 good candidates and get that thing going. I talked to Joe. briefly the other day and told him all he has to do is memorize all the road requirements throughout the county and the state, and then he's good to go. No problem at all. This is a short quiz about it. 32. Acknowledge receipt of warrant number 4473573 for $1,385 and sign the Wyoming Department of Transportation closing statement acquisition for project N232067 on 3rd Street between Curtis Street and Boswell Street.
Good morning again. At a prior meeting, we had the information from YDOT about the additional right of way they were requesting right at the annex building on that corner of 3rd. This is, after we approve that, this is the check for that additional right of way that they're using for construction and the larger piece that they need to make that sidewalk at the corner handicap accessible where it goes into the curb. And then just the acknowledgement that it's done and they've paid us.
Very any
I
questions?
move that, no.
Okay.
I move that we acknowledge the receipt of warrant number 4473573 for $1,385 and sign the Wyoming Department of Transportation closing statement acquisition for project N232067 on 3rd Street between Curtis and Boswell Streets.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign, please. That motion carries. Item 33, present for approval, mold remediation contract for county's building located at 1002 South 3rd Street. Jennifer.
So as you're aware, we have the ongoing issue with mold that we had the inspection done for, and then we had to find remediation contractors because the inspection contractor does not do remediation. Anthony has been working on that. And just this morning, we got the second of 2 remediation estimates in. And so we will get those to you. But our recommendation is that we got 2 quotes, one from All Good Restoration and one from RTC Restoration. The quote from All Good is $22,906.61. The quote from RTC is $23,717.75. The All Good company, or the representative All Good that Anthony has been working with, has been very responsive in returning his calls and working with him and giving him the information that we've asked for about the project. And that we asked for a timeline from each of them. All Good has said that they can start, they begin with asbestos testing, both parties do. All Good can start that today or tomorrow, and they anticipate it being complete, the entire project, in 10 business days, assuming that they don't find any asbestos. They have a crew that is ready, that can come up and get started right away. They put in fans and HEPA filters, Anthony can explain more of that have to be in there for up to 3 days or however long it takes to dry out.
So they start by putting these fans that dry all the air out, and that takes 3 days. And then from there, they'll start pulling the drywall out, putting this chemical and scrubbing and cleaning all the mold. And when they get done with that, they'll rip all the carpets out, put new carpets, new drywall, and they'll put the fans in there again. And when it's complete, they'll test the air, get air samples and all that good stuff, and to make sure that everything's good. And they'll wipe all the furniture down and everything.
So when they put the new carpeting in, there was a problem on the 2nd floor with the flooring. And so, you guys are looking at me like you don't have a clue what I'm talking about.
So
Because at one time there was tile upstairs on the floor. And I mean, I helped move out that tile. But it was like, it wasn't really completely kosher. So I just want to make sure that when they put new carpeting in, that subflooring and things is all correct.
So the second floor, like as you walk into the building, you're talking about that floor.
That main floor?
No, on upstairs. I call that
Okay.
the second floor. That was
Okay.
the basement. But I see where you're going.
All right, so the room with the tile, is not even, that passed the testing for mold. That room wasn't even in question. It was just the two main offices and then the one office in the northwest area. So the
Okay.
tile room was passed. It didn't have any mold problems.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about
And
recarpeting that.
they're not recarpeting the entirety of the building. They're recarpeting the areas on that second floor and in the basement where they're doing the remediation work.
Okay.
So of those two quotes, we do recommend that we go with All Good. Not only are they less expensive, but they are the company who has been far more responsive. They've given us a timeline. When Anthony asked for a timeline from RTC, they were gonna have to get back to him, so we don't even know yet.
Well, they're so close and
Yeah, but they're so close in price and given All Goods assistance that they've provided already.
And for context, I called like 13 or 14 companies. And these are the only two that would be willing to come up to Wyoming and do this because they are IICRC certified. Apparently Wyoming doesn't require that, so.
okay.
And they also they fully warranty their work.
For how long?
Well, I don't know that.
Sure, I'll warranty it.
Until
For a week.
the day we're done.
Right? But those were being certified and that they warranty the work that they do were the two big things that the inspection company identified that whatever remediation company we hire provided. And they both do, both All Good and RTC were certified and would warranty their work.
Entertain a motion.
I move that we approve item 33 as presented and discussed.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign, please. That motion carries. Anthony, thank you for the work on that. I really do appreciate it. Item 34, discussion regarding the status of the remediation and displaced public defender's office. Jennifer, please.
So we had a little bit of that discussion right now, where we're at with the status of it. But since all of this has been identified, the public defender's office has been either working remotely, and we did block out the 4th floor conference room for them so that they have access to that. And there are issues with their offices on that 2nd floor of the annex building. They're not handicap accessible. The security is an issue, as you're aware. You talked to the Judicial Security Commission. Adam did have a contractor scheduled that was going to come in the end of October to put in, I believe, in the wiring and the necessary hardware for an intercom system to the front door so that the doors ends of the building could be locked and there would be that communication with the office to help with those security concerns. Doesn't eliminate them, but to help with that. The public defender's office has concerns about moving back into that 2nd floor space because of the security concerns and the accessibility concerns. And so David Corman is one of our public defenders. He is here today to talk to you a little bit about that also. And then Friday, I was trying to think, today's only Tuesday. Friday, Kurt and I had a call with Diane Lozano, who is the lead state public defender. And she has also been in contact with Patty's office with David and Patty over here in town. And they are looking at other potential space that they would maybe be able to rent. The county is statutorily obligated to provide them suitable office space. So that's where we are. David.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Good morning, David. How are you this morning?
Well, how are you, Mr.
Doing well.
Broussard?
Thank you.
I didn't know if you guys had questions for the public defender's office about all this, or you wanted our input at all?
Sure, we want your input.
You bet. I'd be interested to think, or to hear your concerns about that building that Jennifer described, but from your perspective.
No, I think Jennifer hit the nail on the head there. You know, we've had these concerns for a long time. I mean, the roof is leaking in that building for about 12 months. You know, we talked to Roy about it last September. So, you know, a little bit frustrated that county sat on it for a year, let us sit in an unsafe working environment for a year. And so certainly feel like, you know, our physical well-being should be a consideration. In terms of working in that building, Jennifer pointed out, you know, it's not ADA accessible. So that's certainly not okay, right? I have disabled clients that should have the ability to meet with me and do so in a dignified manner. You know, I have them that struggle to get up those stairs and they don't tell me ahead of time. They just struggle and do it so they can come to my office. So that's not great. I mean, the security concerns, you've talked to the Supreme Court about them. You know, that building's never been secure. Still not, you know, but so yeah, we need to get an office space. So it sounds like really right now, you know, us finding private space and leasing it and having the county, you know, do a stipend is where it seems to me like it's heading. Unless
Sounds like to me.
Yeah. Have you guys located a space?
we're searching. So I think we contacted a local realtor this week. Miss Lozano did. So we're looking. I don't think we have anything. You know, we looked at the Banner building, we looked at the Civic Center, but those aren't really sufficient for our needs. You know, we need room for like 4 attorneys, a conference room, some assistants. But I think the other thing too, you know, when I talked to Ms. Lozano about this is, you know, right now we're at about 96% of our ethical caseload obligation. We had this issue come up in Gillette a couple of years ago where there weren't sufficient public defenders. And so the Supreme Court ultimately decided that our agency can decline to represent people if we get put in a position where we can't do so ethically and give those people the good representation they deserve. So, you know, if that line were to get crossed, then, you know, we would decline appointments in this county. Private counsel would be appointed and have to be reimbursed for that.
Well, that's sobering.
We represent 90% of all criminal defendants in the state and over 90%, you know, of folks here in this county in state courts.
And would the state be responsible for that additional, if it went private to defend people, or would the county be responsible?
You know, that's probably beyond my pay grade.
Okay.
I don't know in Gillette. I know the Supreme Court ended up coming down in favor of our office in that. A couple judges held our agency in contempt, and that's how that got up to the Supreme Court there. But I think, you know, probably the county, but I can't give you an absolute answer on that.
Wow, it's kind of fun. And for money, in so many ways, access to justice, and then the cost shifting to something that we can't control. We can't control the number of public defenders in our county. I mean, I'm hopeful that since the state would have that control, that they would be the bearer of that money. But
well, right
see.
now,
Yeah.
I mean, in a perfect world, we would be able to adequately represent everybody, right? I think that ethical line contemplates me having an office and a staff, right?
Yep.
So if we're at 96 right now, I don't think that 96 level contemplates me working from home.
But yeah, you have my apology as from this commission for what happened with the roof. That was surprising to us too. And unfortunately, we did get to the remediation, but late and to the roof and other places with that building. That leaves the ADA accessibility issue and then the security issue. And so,
but we're hopeful we'll find real estate.
Yeah, you guys do noble work, and I do appreciate the work that you do. I want you to know that. And so we'll be better. You know,
I appreciate you saying that.
So,
As a stopgap, I did block out that 4th floor conference room for use for the public defender, I believe, clear through June. Hopefully, we are not in a position where their office has not been able to find space until that point. But at very minimum, at least you have that space for the foreseeable future.
So the bank building that's at 23rd and Grand, and they all changed their names so much you can't keep up with them. For a while, we had emergency management in that building. And so that certainly may be a place to look because it sound,
That 2020 grand building.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, and that had popped up on our radar too.
And,
And we've
you know,
worked-
there's some parking there and
Mhm.
Probation pool is
They
there.
sure are. And I think in the past in other counties, we've shared offices with probation and that hasn't been a huge problem. And Diane talked to me about making that work, so everybody felt okay in their little spheres. So yeah, I think that building probably.
because
would be
I'm
a
pretty
good
sure
option.
there was a conference room that was available and things in that building.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that'd be
don't know,
great.
And I can I can send an email or David can when we're done here to both Patty and Diane to ask about that space. The other problem that is hard for the public defender's office is because they're on the state network. If they don't go into a building that already has state network capabilities or is close enough, they can do whatever the beamy thing is that Adam does. It can be several months before ETS is able to get that new office space set up with their networking capabilities that they need. Which isn't something that we have any control over, but it's another obstacle that they
Right, but
face
we're
as we're
starting
trying to
down the
face.
path.
Yes, just as an awareness.
Right, and that's like 90 days from what our IT people say to get the circuit, but maybe in that building, Mr.
They
Treasurer,
might have it.
they might have it because probation's in there.
Well,
Yeah.
probation and who else knows what's been in there over
Yeah.
the time,
So
so.
it sounds like a very possible option and we're hopeful we've found something, but you know, certainly not tenable where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And
Well, keep us informed.
we will.
Yep, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Any questions? From you?
Nope, nope.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
Item 35, executive session pursuant to Wyoming State Statute 16-4-405A, Roman numerat 3, and 16-4-405A, Roman numerat VII 7. I'd entertain that motion.
I would move that we move out of regular session into executive session pursuant to Wyoming State Statute 16-4-405A III and Wyoming Statute 16-4-405A 7 at 10:48.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign. That motion carries. We'll leave regular session, enter executive session at 10:48.
Thank you.
Make sure, yeah. Okay, welcome back. I would entertain a motion to leave.
I move that we leave executive session at 12:01 and return to regular session.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Leaving executive session, entering regular session.
Two different.
12:02. Item 38, action if needed regarding executive session. I'd entertain a motion for action for executive session.
Now, where's that written?
So what?
I thought you were
Commissioners,
writing me that. the
Oh, no,
wording I
sorry.
needed.
We would be asking for approval of the order declaring nuisance and the notice of order declaring nuisance, I think is what it's titled, and authorizing the chairman to sign those for Sustainable Industries LLC.
Would you entertain?
I'll-
Give it a shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll move between the two of us.
These would be a little rough here.
Yeah.
I move that we authorize the order declaring a nuisance for Sustainable Industries LLC and authorize the chairman to sign
And
Yes.
notice.
and the notice, and to sign the notice.
Second. Thank you, Terry. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thank you all for that. Item 39, approve vouchers for October 2023. I'd entertain that motion, Terry, please.
I would move that we approve vouchers for October 2023.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 40, seeing no more business before the county commission on November 7th, 2023. I think probably we should just do this. I've been doing it differently, but could I entertain a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. That motion carries. We are adjourned. Have a great afternoon.